He looks like a king on the chair.
It's so relaxing. Right?
Okay, we're gonna start this interview starting with introducing yourself, your 17 years of career in Tivoli, and your music and engineering background of your school.
Sure. So my name's Paul DePasquale, and I've been at Tivoli for 17 years. And my formal background is in audio engineering and production. I have a background also in music and songwriting. And my time at Tivoli, actually, I've held positions in engineering and sales, marketing, business development. So I've used all those skills, all those experiences, and in 2016 became the CEO, in which today I use everything from my college background to my formal training of audio and acoustics to do what we do here at Tivoli and to develop product and grow our business. Yeah.
And I heard that you can actually play a guitar and trumpet as well.
Yeah, guitar, trumpet, many instruments.
Many instruments.
Yeah,
wow.
Multi-instrumentalist and composer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I grew up in a family of musicians, and always been performing different style, jazz trumpets to rock music with the guitar and drums and piano and stuff. So yeah. My first love until I was a little bit older and I was trying to do music for a professional career, and then I realized that there's very difficult, very little money. So I use my education with the engineering and audio to do what I do today.
Starting with the worldwide steady seller, the Model 1, now you launched the new model, the Model 2 digital, right?
Yeah.
I think it's not about music, but also a seamless conversion of space that we're using these speakers, and of course the sonic or acoustical performance as well. Did you design this model by yourself?
Yeah. So myself, come up with the concept and the design, and then worked with our team in Boston. We have a small engineering department where we do all the conceptualization, and then we work with teams of engineers that we have in Asia, but also in Denmark, and come together on making these come to life. The Model 2 Digital is sort of an embodiment of what we do best, which is compact, high performance, simple to use, and in this case, we wanted to offer, the listener the newest in streaming technology.
More focused on to the younger people?
Younger, even the middle age. I think people who don't listen to radio maybe as much, or traditional radio, and they want to use more streaming services, Spotify or Tidal. And so this gives them the opportunity with Google Cast or with AirPlay to stream. And it's very simple, very easy, and it incorporates a lot of different features that we have in the other art products, the Music System Home and the Model 1 Digital. But this is sort of like the newer push on where the latest of the technology is. And also sonically, we've tried to develop something new.
So you have changed the speaker driver or the amplifier as well?
Yeah, slightly a much more powerful amplifier than the Model 1 Digital, but also a little bit more cabinet dimension for the more natural acoustics, and then also a 2-driver system. So where a Model 1 Digital is a 1, this one is a 2. That's where the name sort of come, Model 2. And so this has a full range driver and a tweeter.
Yeah. Before we seeing that, I thought that the size is exactly the same of the Model 1, but it's much bigger than Model 1.
Yeah, it's a little bit deeper this way and a little bit this way. And it was all for the performance. We wanted this to be as a standalone speaker that someone could have just this one in an apartment, not such a big space, but could fill the room. And they wouldn't need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 speakers. They could fill the room with just one. And that was kind of the goal with designing this one. And we also played a bit into the overall design, trying to keep it very seamless and sort of minimal, so that the user had the most flexibility on when they put it in their home. So whether they designed it in their decor to put on a shelf like this, or if they wanted to do a bookshelf style.
Yeah.
So we actually ship it without the rubber feet. The rubber feet are in the box, and then the customer can decide how they want to use the product. Has no change on the sound, but we wanted to offer something more flexible for home audio, streaming home audio. Yeah.
With this Model 2, are you going to working more with the B2B region, like a hotel or as well?
Yeah. So we do a lot of hotel business currently. For many years, we always were very successful with the Model 3.
Of course.
We launched the Revive a few years ago as well to be a part of some more modern hotels. Hotels now have finally started to change like what they're looking for because of technology. Most hotels don't need a alarm clock anymore or even a radio. They have modernized their rooms to have tablets, smart devices, Wi-Fi, AirPlay, so this gives us an opportunity to be in the hotel segment. Simple to use. Hotels can have a tablet for their guests, and they can connect and play to this. Or a guest can play with it either via Bluetooth or if they're on the Wi-Fi network. We took a design here to change from the fabric to just more of a aluminum face for the hotel business, so easy for them to clean. Because during COVID, one of the biggest concerns in the hospitality industry was being able to clean everything. So a lot of hotels say to me like, oh, we like, the fabric, but it's hard to clean. So we took a styling approach, and actually I'm quite fond of it. And I think our customers so far have said this is really different, more polished, more new. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really beautiful, and we can have this with promotion about the price range of AirPod, right? Little bit more expensive, but it's a great deal, I think.
Yeah. And it's, again, it's you can have it connect to multiple units. So if you buy multiple Model 2 digitals for your home.
Oh, really?
Or if you have this music system home or you have a Model 1 digital, it's all running the same brain, so to speak. So you can connect them via AirPlay or connect them via Google Home or Google Cast. You can connect multiple. You can have up to, somewhere between 8 to 10 speakers on the network.
How do we set up the Wi-Fi? Yeah.
It's very simple, actually. There's 2 ways. One way is using AirPlay. So if you have an Apple phone, an iPhone, in the Wi-Fi settings, you just look for the AirPlay device and you connect.
Yeah.
You don't need a special application. This is one of the key things that we wanted to do with the Artline Gen 2. To have no app, to use what Apple or Google has offered. And the same with Google. Google, you have to download the Google Home app, but it's very easy. You see the product show up, follow the steps. Within 2 steps, you're connected.
course.
Once those are connected, if you're on any streaming app like a Spotify or any YouTube or anything, you can select the AirPlay or the Google Cast logo, and these will show up. Easy to play, yeah.
Okay, now I'd like to move on to this model.
Sure.
This also a new model, right?
Yep, the songbook.
I see very modern and at the same time quite a retrospective design in here.
Sure. Sure, yeah. So that was exactly sort of the idea when we launched, when we designed this. We wanted to launch something that was familiar for people, simple to use, but also bringing a younger audience into this brand and showing them that, you know, there's some simple and fun things about audio and listening to audio that I think technology sometimes we forget, that playing music and listening to music should be a communal experience. Nowadays, so many people individual earbuds and their phone, right? So this was a way for us to do a few things. Bring something that's portable, that's powerful, that has a modern look, but retro style and retro features. Simple to use and fun. Something that, you know, people can come together and play music.
One of the key feature is enjoying music together with this model, right?
Yeah. So you can play, on this one, the songbook, you can play music via Bluetooth or through the auxiliary input. We also built in preamp.
Yeah, I see very interesting toggle switch in here,
Yeah.
right next to the aux input.
Yeah.
How do we use this toggle switch?
Yeah, so basically you would be on the auxiliary source and then you would plug your 1/4 inch connection. And then you would just, if you have something powered, so let's say like a laptop, you can leave it as a line level. But if you have like something that has a different impedance and needs more power, so like a turntable or a guitar.
Like many passive devices.
Yeah, you can turn this to amp, and you'll use the preamp here to give it extra push. So we engineered it a lot with using like turntable and also using like guitar. And actually this line level, the amp input can actually be blended with the Bluetooth. So if you're playing, a song over Bluetooth, and you have something plugged in here, for example, a guitar, you can play back to the music. Yeah. So another small feature just to sort of bring the music element.
And also we can sing a song with a microphone as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the most important part of the product, but an added fun sort
That's
of feature.
really fun feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, whether you're listening to auxiliary or through Bluetooth, we've made the performance the most important. So the powerful 2-driver system, bass port in the back for a lot more natural bass. It has a rechargeable battery built in.
Yeah, I think that feature shows a lot of your music background.
This one, yes. Yes, and the name, Songbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also launched the previous model, right?
Of the Songbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, many years ago. It was very different though. It was much smaller and it was a 1-driver and it was just an AM/FM travel radio that it was very thin and someone could put it in their suitcase and travel with it. What made the Songbook very popular was that we had a lot of different colors. We had a lot of different special editions, things about it that made it unique and very fun. We discontinued that model in like 2007 or 8 or so, and it mainly because the Bluetooth category, small Bluetooth, started to become more popular. And ever since, though, every year we always had partners, customers, people tell us, "Oh, I remember the songbook. It was so cool. It was so much fun." So that's why we brought it back. But of course, like anything you bring back, you have to do it better, right? So we wanted to make this one a little bit different.
So we can see the in front of this model, we can see ivory color and the brown, and also this color, like ivy color, I guess.
Yeah, it's more like it's like an avocado,
Avocado, yes.
military green. I don't know. Yeah, so the color approach, the theory around the colors, we did this combination because it reminded us so much of our heritage, sort of a classic look, with the dark back and the light face. So we felt like this was a very much something that had to be there to kind of have the Tivoli essence, but we wanted to make something fun. So we had a whole list of different colors that we were going to do. We had blues and orange and red and yellow. And this one kept on becoming the favorite amongst the team, the marketing team, the engineering team. Myself personally started to see a lot of things with this color, like fashion, automotive cars, this color. And I thought it just something very powerful about this. It's very a positive color, but we will launch these two in both the Songbook and Songbook Max. But like we always do, we were going to add more colors and add some limited editions. So I do expect next year to have maybe one or two other colors globally, and quite possibly a special color just for the Korean market. So.
Could you please tell us the difference between the Max model and the normal models?
Yeah. So the Songbook is mainly just auxiliary and Bluetooth. Both have, a lot of shared features between the built-in preamp and the equalizer, auxiliary and Bluetooth. The main differences you're going to see is this one, obviously two-driver system, powerful, still has a lithium rechargeable battery of about 10 hours at playback, but of course not as powerful as the Songbook Max. Songbook Max has a larger amplifier, three-driver system, the addition of a screen so that we can use the radio. In some markets we have the FM, other markets we have digital radio in some countries. So because of that, of course, the tuner knob here. And then on top of the radio, there's a bunch of quick buttons for presets and scanning. Yeah. So if someone wants to save a radio station or something like that. So a couple more features here, but the main difference you're going to have is they both play powerful, they're both loud, but this one, of course, just a higher profile, higher performance. The way we've done the audio on these, we wanted to have something that was full information, so having left and right stereo, but we weren't so much concerned about like stereo image because this is portable, right? It's not like someone's going to keep it always in the same space. So we designed this one to be more of a low-end woofer, a subwoofer, and this one is a full range, having the low frequency, middle frequency, and the high frequency. And the reason of that is so that when you're standing in front of it, you're standing to the side of it, standing behind it. If you're outside, you don't have walls. So we want to make sure that the audio has the most seamless and same sound no matter where you are. So this is what we came up with on how to achieve that. And in this one, we did a similar, but this one is a subwoofer, and this one is a mid-range, and this one is your tweeter for the high range, for the treble. So you have sort of a full, in this one, you have sort of a full floor standing speaker, but in a different orientation. Yeah.
Because the sizes are the same, I saw that we're using the same driver, but it's not.
No, yeah. So we kept a look for the grill. This one, of course, a little bit smaller, but this driver's just a little bit smaller than this one.
And customer may curious about your company name Tivoli, where they came from.
Sure. So Tivoli is an Italian name, of course.
Yeah.
Tivoli Gardens is a place in Italy, not too far from Rome. And back in the old days, Tivoli was a place for entertainment. It was a place that the people came together in the town to watch theater, live performances, music. And so when the company was started, the original founder, also Italian, he had a love for this name and for this history of the name, and thought, well, a company like Tivoli that had somewhat of an Italian-American background, plus the attention to our design has always been a little more Italian or European infused. The Tivoli name just was a perfect fit. And so it's we've been doing this brand and as Tivoli for 23 years this year.
Your company pursue and maintain key values about environment and social wise. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. Yeah. Just before actually the COVID pandemic, I've always been very passionate about the environment. Actually, when I was much younger, I used to volunteer for organizations like Greenpeace and these kind of companies. But all these years later, when I was doing a lot more traveling and manufacturing, I realized how important it is for brands like Tivoli and many brands in the manufacturing. We have a responsibility to do right and protect the earth and protect the future. And sometimes it's very hard because how a lot of this manufacturing industry is built, is a lot of materials, a lot of wasted materials, a lot of, and some things you cannot change. But I told myself that I would have to do something. So we started thinking about what can we do. So we made changes in our packaging. All of our packaging is eco-friendly. It's fully recyclable. Changing from plastics to bags that are made from corn starch, rather than using styrofoam, using molded pulp paper to make trays so that we can protect the product in the boxes. We started to work with FSC sourcing for the woods, for the cabinets. So that's more of a company who deals with using wood from forests that are protected. So for example, for every time they take down trees, they plant new trees, and they make sure that they also don't take down trees that are important and endangered. So they have sort of a controlled process. We've also changed the chemicals that we use when we're treating the plastics and when we're doing the PCBs to make sure that we're reducing harmful chemicals that not only are harmful in the product, but also harmful when you're producing them. So we reduce our emissions. So we've tried to make all these changes within our products, but even further than that, we do a lot of things in our after sales with respect to recycling and refurbished. We have a very long-term returns and warranties program where we always try to make sure that customers, don't have to waste, and we offer the service to repair for them, to support them, to have the longevity of the product they purchased 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Wow.
As opposed to, for example, most companies like the big ones, even Apple, 2 years, 3 years, your phone, throw it out, you get a new one. So, for us, it's very important that we also protect the longevity for the customer, and that does have a long-term impact on the environment in a good way. And yeah, during 2020, I launched an initiative at Tivoli that's called Tivoli Together. And we use this platform to connect Tivoli's brand with many different organizations, both in environmental but also in social, different social situations, protecting and supporting, different groups, different people around the world. And we use our bandwidth of our customers to join us in that journey. And every time someone comes to our website and can purchase a product, they can donate percentage of the purchase to a variety of different organizations that we support. And yeah, it's like I said, it's a responsibility that I think every brand should have. And
That's really nice story that inspires us that you're actually changing the world with the Tivoli.
trying, yeah. Well, the reason why I'm still in love with this brand after the 17 years that I've been here is because there's nothing more powerful than music. There's nothing more powerful than art. And I travel all over the world and I meet all sorts of people that unfortunately sometimes you feel separate because of language. Because, I don't speak a lot of different languages or they don't speak languages. Or you think that we come from different worlds, that things aren't the same. But in actuality, everything is the same. Okay? And music has always been that thing for me that made me realize that it doesn't matter which language you speak or where you come from. Every culture has music, has art, has emotion, has food, right? Has some kind of thing that connects everything. And so I've been very grateful that I could use the voice of music and what we do at Tivoli to bring people together. And that's still, I think, for me, why I do this so much. Because it was the same reason why I wanted to play music many years ago. I wanted to play music to have songs, to share ideas, and although I'm not doing that now, I do it through the Tivoli. Yeah.
Okay, finally, could you leave us some comment for the Korean customers as well?
Yeah. So to what we were just saying, I think for the customers who know Tivoli, definitely, stay tuned for some really interesting and new and fun, innovative products that we're going to be doing not only now but in the years to come. But also, I think the customer, what I would like to say is what we were just talking about, is that we live in a time now where so much has changed, so much is changing, and the power of communal listening to each other, listening to people's differences, exploring something that you're not used to, has never been more important now, to be open-minded and be compassionate. And when they look at this product and they see what these products are, and when they experience them, that's what we do. And our goal is to bring people together through the music and through these products. So I hope that the Korean customer sees that and enjoys that with what we have here.
Thank you for the great interview, Mr. Pasquale.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.